Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the first day of the only event that matters in cybersecurity, right? I'm going to start talking right away. I'm going to give a lot of information. If you have any questions afterwards, please talk to me. I will surely answer everything. Now, understanding the cost of a cybersecurity breach versus whatever cost is involved in taking proactive measurements, that's something that you really need to know before you can make any informed decision, cost-effective decision. If you read the news, even if it's only one time a week, I think you know enough. It's very important to take measures because examples enough, every week there's another big organization that falls victim to any kind of a ransomware attack. Now, my presentation here is actually to debunk the myth that you can only have an effective cybersecurity if you have a full-blown SOC. My presentation will be about you have to start today, yesterday, today, tomorrow. That's very important. Do not wait until you get the budget or the team or whatever to get to the full-blown SOC. There really is like a roadmap that you can use, going from little investments to no until you have, of course, the more, the full SOC is, of course, a bit more expensive, but you know what you get. I'm going to point out to the little title. I was born in the 80s, so of course I am a fan of MacGyver. That's where I grew up with, and this is where I got the inspiration of my session. His creative approach on how to handle things, that was what I was thinking about on how can we go to that full-blown SOC with doing day-to-day tasks. Now, who am I? My name is Heidi Blok. I've been a co-founder of NetLeaf with my two partners since 2011. We were really a network and security partner, mainly doing a lot of cybersecurity. But the last 2 years, the flagship of our organization really is our SOC, our Security Operations Center, and every service that's involved. Let me point out, we do not only do the full-blown SOC, we also have a few other options available for those who are still doing that roadmap to there. Now, the picture that I'm showing here is actually my business card. We have had our marketing department in-house since the early beginning. I don't just want to draw attention, but we really want to tell a story. So this was actually a Polaroid picture, and they gave me a Sharpie and said, here's a whiteboard, please go draw for an hour all your details. So they really think out of the box. But what we really want to do is first get your attention and then help you with some quick wins or some information where you really are helped with. That brings me to the title of my organization, 10 Shades to SOC. Of course, I've had a little help from a famous movie, and they said, you go to your nail stylist and you paint your fingernails in 10 different colors. Because I'm very passionate about everything that's cybersecurity, especially SOC. So now, the next 4 weeks, I can talk to everyone that has an opinion about my different shades, what it means. So tomorrow, when I go to the grocery store, I surely will be telling them why it's important to have some kind of cybersecurity information. Let's go to the first shade. That's actually my thumb. So thumbs up for this one. Be SOC ready. That's an advice that you should have every day when you wake up. You should think about how can I be SOC ready, even if I'm only having it within 2 years. What does this mean? Please look on every decision that you make, every new application, every tool that it can integrate with future tools. It doesn't matter that you do not have any SIEM or SOC solution in place right now. If you would have it within a year, surely you will doubt your decision that you made today. Just make sure that integrations are possible and that you do not fall for the vendor lock-in. We see that a lot with some of our competitors, where they say, if you take this part, this technology of our brand, and then add all these other things, you have this whole ecosystem, and that works. I'm not disagreeing. The only problem is, within a few years, you are still buying that same brand, and you do not have control over your decision. We don't have a look into the future. We don't know if this product is going to be the best within a few years. Please look that it can integrate with different products. There are some products available that have all the ecosystem, but if they still are able to talk the different ones, then I'm all in favor. Let's just see that it integrates and that we can have our options open for the future. It doesn't have to be only security tools or applications. It can be anything in your network, even your switches and stuff like that. Just please see that they can integrate with other applications. I'm now going to point my middle finger at you. The low-hanging fruit security. This, of course, seems very obvious, but in our full stock, what we are doing, every month we have a review meeting. And we are going to tell you if we detect stuff and we see, for example, that not for everyone multi-factor authentication is enabled. That's an advice that we are going to give you. If we see that some firewall policies should be updated, that's an advice that we are going to give you. If some ports are open that you should close, again, if you don't have enough segmentation to prevent attacks from spreading out too far, again, an advice. But if you take this, we can do this proactively. Even if you don't have the SOC, you could have this list and take the time, even hire an external party to do some auditing, but don't wait until you have the full-blown solution to get to work to look at this. Some examples, multi-factor, I said it, advanced access control, again, architecture, if it integrates with different products, that's my thing, then I'm a fan. The last thing here is the human firewall, actually our last resort, and it also points to the next slide. This is a bit more different. I'm just going to point out my finger because if I'm going to do the gesture, that would be inappropriate. But let's say the metaphor that with this middle finger gesture comes is exactly what we do not want our users to do for our digital assets. We don't want them to point the middle finger on whatever they are experiencing. We want them to be confident in whatever they see. We want them to contact our service desk and to say, I'm in doubt, how do I handle this, or I did something wrong. That's really the awareness. We should give them the tools to react accordingly. That's not always simple. It should be a continuous investment. Do not do it 2 or 3 times a year because people will forget it. If you do not pay attention from an IT point of view, your users will also start to forget about all these rules. So continuous for me, very important, at least 1 time a month. I think we should do some kind of information video, phishing tests, but don't only stop there. Be creative. If your users are getting every first Tuesday of the month a video, after 5 months, nobody watches it again. Please be creative and look also in different attacks. For example, now we are doing QR code attacks. We are just adding QR codes to the coffee machine and see if someone scans it, and then they are also notified. So please be creative, and even there, only do one thing for a year, 2 years at least, or otherwise it will fade and fatigue will pop up. Shade number 4. Still on my right hand, but almost half. Actually, the presentation that I did last year was not if, but when. So this was pointing out to a ransomware attack. Please don't think that it will never happen to you, but please be ready for when it does. I can surely tell you that the cost will be far less than if you start protecting yourself up front than if you wait until it happens. And that means also having an incident response plan. But don't wait until you have the full-blown. You can already start with playbooks. Do a basic one. Like, for example, what if a phishing mail comes in and somebody clicks it? Probably your service desk knows what to do. But why not write a playbook about it? there are, for example, the 3 most important ones. Write them down. You will feel more confident. I mean, when it happens, you have an explanation. There's no anxiety anymore. It's just written down. If we can then push that further to the full incident response plan, it's also very easy to put that under the attention of our management. You will get the budget because they will see that you make progress. It's not that you're coming from, okay, now I have 10 days of consultancy going from 0 to that, because it's very difficult. It will be a difficult discussion. Yeah. We're now at shade number 5. This is my pinky finger, and this is for good luck. So these are a wide range of free tools, open source tools, that you can use today. A lot of them do have a paying version right now, because they, of course, have also some developers that they want. And I see some phones. Please do that. It's here to help you. It is free. This is what we even use these tools in our stock for certain stuff. These are things that you can use today to already do something. If you have problems getting the budget or getting the attention from your C-level or your management, these can help you. If anything is detected, these will give you a report, and you, again, can go ask for the budget. I'll pick out 3 where you might know or where you should look at if you don't have anything. The first one is Wazoo. You'll see it here at the SIEM solution. Now, this is really a freeware version of the SIEM. If you have enough internal resources to manage it and to do something with it, I would suggest to look at it. It doesn't have SOAR capabilities. It's only in the paying version, of course. But this is very good to start with and to get a look and feel and to get your teams to experience what a real SIEM solution is. The second one I want to point out, and that we are using the paid version again in our SOC, is Any Run, this one. Now, this is a sandboxing tool. You probably know sandboxing from add-ons on firewalls, endpoints, email security, these stuff. But what you probably get is just a basic report saying, okay, it was malware, we found this, or suspicious activity. What does this tool do? It will give you a more elaborate report, but it will also give you a visual idea of what the file is doing. So you will actually see the Windows version and the file in the sandbox running. And that's just cool. I'm still a nerd inside, but that's just cool. Of course, the paying version is secure. The public version, the free version, you have to watch out, because everything you upload will be available for all other users. So please don't do that with sensitive or company information. But if you would have any kind of malware without sensitive information, upload it and see for yourself what it does. Of course, we use the paying version, but it has a lot of capabilities, and we can double check. Even if, I don't know if you know the attacks where it's business compromise, and where they take your email and then respond with an attachment to a different mailbox, but it looks like your own email because your content is there. We've had many discussions where users saying, yeah, but it saved the attachment because underneath it's my content. But it's actually not. And this tool will help you with an elaborate report on why it's not. The last one that I want to add is actually something that was already present when I started working. And it's called Ping Castle. It's there under the Active Directory Security Assessment. So it's basically a tool that scans your Active Directory. And it will give you a report on what stuff that you can solve or change to upgrade your security posture. Again, this is a one-time scan, and it will give you a report. Do it 2 times a year until you are ready to have a more continuous solution that can do like a daily reporting or weekly. But you see, these tools can mean a lot if you don't have anything today. You can really upgrade your environment. Of course, if you have the necessary internal resources, because human capital is also a challenge. Now, this is where I'm really fan of. We're going to the hand number 6, so we're really our spending budget now. The last ones are more free or maybe some internal resources, but these are more still the lightweight version, but we are spending money. What we're doing here is we're installing our honeypots, so basically triggers in your network that pretend to be a server, an application, maybe user credentials. And we just hope that if someone is in our network, that they will try to access it, scan the network, use these credentials, and then we'll know something is going on. We cannot do a reaction, we cannot stop the attack, but we definitely know it. And if things really go sour, in the end we can still pull the power plug, and then we'll have bought us some time. Huh? So this is really good. I think it's 2 years when I was here, my first presentation, and it was about 80 days that an attacker was in your network doing the reconnaissance, scanning where he could make the most impact. So of course he wanted to make you pay. Huh? I think in February it was less than 10 days, but still we have 10 days. That means with the honeypot, we still have the opportunity in those 10 days to detect it and to make sure that they do not go any further. Of course, again, my story from before, if you have integrations, again, you will benefit from this. You don't have the full SOC, but all the other products, if they talk to each other, if the honeypot rings the alarm bell, we can just make sure in our other products that the problem is solved or at least contained. Huh? So, other hand, the other pinky. This really, I started working back in 2005, and my first products were installing email security. Incredible that today it's still hot and happening. More of 91% of the cyber attacks are still have a start in an email. Even today, where Office 365 did a lot of improvements on their security stack, thank God, because 2 years ago that was a different kind. Unfortunately, today it doesn't cover all the more difficult attacks, because of course these attackers are also using AI and machine learning and all the techniques that we also should use to defend ourselves. Huh? So today, what I'm saying, please do not throw out your existing solution. For me, yes, you can do it on Office 365. Plus, please make sure that you do still have a tool that, for example, through API calls can see what more advanced attacks are still in your network and what people did with it. It's very necessary to take a look who else got emails, who clicked links, these stuff. And it cannot be the engineer, if it's at your own service desk or at a partner, it cannot be the responsibility of that person to look into all other log files. It should be a tool that helps you with this. And what I think is email security will still be a hot item next year. So I think I will be doing this for the next 20 years still. So, okay, shade number 8. The choice of endpoint protection today is still very important. I know that it seems to be like more commodity because everyone does have a good endpoint protection. Now again, if we are integrating with a full SOC, the capabilities are less important. Then I'm even saying, stay with Defender if your SOC has, or your SIEM solution has the capabilities to do the exact same things, if they can quarantine endpoints, if they have the incident response way of working, fine. But if you do not have that, please make sure that your endpoint protection tool does have that. And then we're looking at the next generation tools who are only looking at behavior because, yeah, everything that's database based, that's not for today anymore. Okay, you're seeing we're going to the end. Huh? We're building up the story. So if you are ready to integrate your own SIEM solution and you put it in place, even if it's open source, do make sure that you make the exercise right. Huh? Doesn't mean that the tool is free or doesn't cost that much, and you check the box that you're secure. somebody really has to look at it. It's not a set and forget. Please make sure that you have the internal resources to check the incidents, to check the logs, and react accordingly. You will have a lot of questions. Which SIEM solution do I need to choose? Please keep in mind that free is not always free. If you have to build your own team and have, I don't know, 5 people because you want to have a 24/7, that's also a cost. Look at alternatives who will help you, for example, by adding SOAR capabilities, by adding automation. It really can cut down your cost and make sure that you're more confident in whatever you have in your network. For me, basically, if I would choose today a normal SIEM solution, I would not consider it anymore. I would always see something with SOAR or XOR capabilities, because really, I do trust my team. I also trust your team. But we are defending against people who are using AI, machine learning, all these capabilities. We need to defend accordingly. And really, you have to make the exercise, because it might be that you get surprised and you really don't are comparing your budgets differently. And the last one, thumbs up, the full SOC. The full SOC means, in my opinion, that you going to outsource it, where the responsibility really is with the outsourced team, but where your team, where your IT team can profit from. They will learn. They need to have, again, they need to have access to the SIEM tool, because it still is a SIEM tool. It's still a big black box with all logs where you can benefit from. Your IT team can go to the next level if they are supported by an external specialist. Today, I think it's impossible for a company to be on top of every security incident and know of all hypes that are happening concerning these attacks. You will benefit if you choose for an outsourced SOC, because these people, there will be one engineer for 10 customers, and he will do this on a daily basis. Also, all courses, all trainings that are available, they're not cheap. If you really want to build that, it's quite impossible, I think, for an organization to do this on your own. This should be, in my opinion, the end game. You can do a lot of other things in between. Again, a lot of choices to be made. Which partner are you choosing? How much do you want to be involved? Do you want to do some incidents yourself, or do you only want to have a look in the system? But please make sure that you can access it and that you can make the partner accountable. So we did all my nails. I hope I didn't talk too much about these things, but I hope I gave you some information that was relevant. I also promised in the introduction that I would give a breakdown ranging from free, low cost, to then more substantial costs. So this is about everything that I talked about. Even if it was not in a slide, I might have mentioned it during my presentation. So for me, the first two ones, they're basically part of a security-focused approach. So in your day-to-day handling, if you just keep security in mind, you will probably be doing the first two things. But again, this should be a continuous process. After you're doing this, you can move to the right. And please correct me if I'm wrong. If you have an unlimited budget, go to there. I'm not saying that this is the roadmap that you will need to follow. Just go to the full SOC, and all the rest will also follow. Because I told you, whatever comes from all the incidents that you will see, they will touch at least the first 2 pages. And this is how it should go. You should take baby steps, and every step you take will help you in upgrading your security posture. But please don't wait until you're ready for the last thing. Now, this was high-level things we can do. Of course, I'm also here to present you our company. Every month we do SOC Unlocked, we call it. So the doors of our SOC are opened. It's well registration only, but especially for cybersec, we have an event coming up. It's the 18th of June. You can register here and then you can visit our SOC. You are explained on all different flavors that we have, what options and what pricing even. And you can talk to our analysts and they can even give you a brief demo. So this is where you can scan it. If you want to talk or if you want a different date, please talk to us. Actually, our booth is next to the theater here. So I invite you to come by and have a drink so we can talk further. So again, we are still a network security integrator. We do other products, but mainly today our focus was to present our SOC and what you can do. I don't know if you read the invite, but if you pass by our booth, you can also get a little game, a SOC game. So we made our own game. You have to come catch a little ticket here, and then you can get it at my lovely colleagues. So it's based on the Catalysts of Catan. I don't know if you know that. But this is with SOC analysts and all items related to SOC. So it's just a cool game. I told you earlier that our marketing department is very creative, so I support that. So thank you. Are there any questions that someone has right now, or maybe talk to me later? I'm here. So, and for the rest, I invite you to come get your tickets here. Thank you.